Hello everybody watching. It's really quiet today. I don't know why. Nothing different. Just bear with me whilst I share the video. Hi Sue. Okay. Got the chicken. And another knife for the veg. Hi Kathy. So I think I have everything. Oh, salt and pepper. The table's in a weird place in the kitchen, so I've done my best to sort of make this setup all right, but I can't move the table on my own. So I've kind of moved everything over, and hopefully it's okay. I'm going to be making a smothered chicken today, but I'm only doing it for one person, me. So it's going to be a test to see whether I can make everything for one portion and not for like 2 or 3 accidentally. Also, my hair's a bit crazy at the moment. Yeah, just one chicken breast. Well, there is a piece of bacon as well, so yes, I've got to set the Ninja Foodie off because basically one of the first steps is grill the chicken. So I've got the chicken prepped. I've sort of cut it down so it's a 190 gram chicken breast because the ones that we got from Aldi were huge, and with the bacon, I don't need a huge one. So I'm going to pop it on grill. I just let it heat up whilst I butterfly it. Hello, Sandra. That is my permanent test. Ella. Sorry, Jan, what are you on about? the comments are lagged. And so I move on and then I forget what I've been talking about. This is Gemma's recipe. And first step, so Gemma, if you're watching, I'm following the recipe, and all I'm doing basically is dividing everything by 4 as much as I can. So, cooking for 1, yeah. So usually if I was doing this, I would make a couple of portions because it just makes sense. But Louis in Poland and Dad will be eating, I think he's still got some lamb kebab, doner kebabs that he's working his way through at the moment. So, I don't know why I turned the pan on, I don't need the pan on yet. So, I am only doing it for 1 because we don't have any room in the freezer to, let's butterfly this side, to have spare portions. If you watched the Friday Q&A, you'll know that we got like these big trays of like lasagna and enchiladas from the bakery, basically test bakes. And so our freezers are absolutely to bursting now. I'm going to be winging some of it soon. Hang fire. So I've just butterflied the chicken. I'm going to put a bit of salt on without touching the spoon with the hand I've just handled the chicken with. But there's not really much that goes on it. No, it's just I've got the rack for the Ninja here. That's going to go in the bottom of the Ninja, and it's just going to grill whilst we sort the sauce out. All the flavour basically is in the sauce. So I've just salted the chicken, but that's about it. If I was grilling the chicken as normal, I'd usually chuck a load of spices on it. But we're following the recipe. Okay. So I still need that board because I need to chop some bacon. Hang on. Let me look through the comments. They'll be gone in a couple of days. Yeah, they will be, Sue, but we've still got more stuff in the freezer. There's still, I don't know whether any members remember this, but Dad made like this huge steak and kidney pudding. That's still in the freezer. All the racks of salmon that he got on offer, they're actually in the freezer in the bakery. He'll be doing a live on that later this week. Just chopping some butter. That's going to go in the pan. I don't want much though because I'm frying bacon and I don't like bacon to... Well, I like bacon to be crispy, so I don't like loads of fat in and not make it crispy. When is the growing lad back? Tomorrow, yes. He should be getting dropped off, so I don't need to go and pick him up. But yeah, no, his flight back is tomorrow. And he already knows that there are like 10 portions of lasagna and enchiladas available. So he's happy. So, it says around 160 grams of streaky bacon or 8 rashers. So, I've not got streaky bacon, we usually get back bacon. So I'll use that much. And I'm just going to chop this up. So it's kind of naturally splitting down the middle there anyway. I just want to chop it up into little strips because you don't want... Well, it's not really a sauce, but it's like cream cheese based. And then you've got chopped... The recipe is chopped mushrooms or bell pepper and shallots and bacon. And so it's kind of like a chunky sauce. I don't have bell pepper, so I'm going to use courgettes. It's going to be quite a green sauce because it's got leeks in it as well instead of shallots. Anywho, first step is fry the bacon. I've got some butter in the pan on, and obviously the bacon will start to cook. Take some of the fat out, and then flavour the vegetables as well. So, Phil, is there any racks that fit the Ninja Health Grill? Is that one? Is that the name of it? I know it's the Ninja Grill, but I know there's different types of the Ninja Grill. I've been keeping all the fat from streaky bacon cooking this week to use in the mayonnaise. Oh, nice. Yeah, whenever we roast stuff in the Ninja Grill, we then obviously keep the fat that comes out and we use that for cooking. Right. That's on a medium heat, just whilst I chop up some of the veg. So, racks that fit the Ninja Grill. Apart from what we got with the grill, which is is it in here? Yeah, the grill pan. I don't actually know whether we've got any Ninja Grill specific things. We have a few oven trays that fit in the bottom nicely. They are 7 by 10 inches, I think. I said I was following the recipe, but I'm not weighing this out. So I know this is more than 20 grams or 25 grams of leeks, which is what it should be, but I don't care. Right, this is replacing the shallots. So if you're making this in 4 portions, the recipe calls for 100 grams of shallots. I'm using leeks instead. Oh, I don't actually have shallots in the fridge. I don't know why I didn't use them. And instead of bell pepper or mushrooms, I've got some courgettes. It's a similar sort of texture, especially when you don't cook it as much. I like courgettes to be on the crunchier side rather than on mushy. I'm just going to quickly wash these together. Turn that down. Bacon's cooking quite quickly. Got some golden crispy bits already. And you know what? I know it's not part of the recipe, but I'm going to add a garlic clove in as well. I fancy a bit of a garlicky sauce. Now, already looking at that, that's a lot of veg for a sauce for 1 portion, but it's fine. I was thinking I might do a side dish with this, but I found some lettuce leaves that need using up. And with the amount of veg here as well, I don't think I'll be bothered with a side. I'm not particularly hungry. Right, that's on a lowish heat. I'll get a garlic clove. Yeah, do you know what, Sue? I've not looked on the Ninja website. Whenever we get stuff for the Ninjas, it's usually on Amazon. Or we just use the tins that we've had for, when you just always seem to haven't had another tin. We had tons of baking stuff that we never used, and we found the right tins size-wise for the grill. But usually, actually, in the grill, unless you're baking like a cake, we don't really need a tin. We either use the grill like plate that comes in it that sits inside, or if you take it out and you just use the bottom pan, you can bake stuff directly in that pan. We've made a bacon cheeseburger pie before where we just placed it entirely in there, squished it down. It's quite a flat pie, but it worked. And there's less washing up. Kind of. Yeah, so you look at the website first to get the measurements and then look elsewhere. There's always going to be sort of like off-brand versions with the same measurements. You just got to make sure, especially with the grill, that it's not too tall. Might be the same width and length, but if it's too tall, then it's not going to fit in the grill. Right. Let's turn up the heat slightly. I love the smell of garlic when it first goes in the pan. Right. Chicken done. Butter in the pan. Bacon done. Shallots, leeks instead. Mushrooms and bell pepper. I've got courgette instead. The only thing I don't have is a handful of fresh parsley. I've got some dried thyme. Also, I've added a garlic in there as well. And I have some chili flakes because I fancy putting some of them in as well. The sauce part is a dairy. So the original recipe calls for mascarpone. I always prefer to use cream cheese. So that's what I've got. And it does say if the mascarpone is quite thick, add a dash of milk. I usually find with cream cheese, I don't have that issue. I'm using this pan. It's quite a big pan for a one portion dish, but it is fantastic for cheese sauces because it's non-stick. So, and just in general, it's quite a nice pan for the lives because you can see in some of the taller pans, you struggle to get the camera to actually see to the bottom of the pan. Right. Once the bacon is cooked and the shallots and peppers have softened, add the mascarpone to the pan and let it melt into a sauce. I forgot how quick this recipe is. The Ninja's just beat. I don't know whether the chicken's going to be done. No, I'm going to turn it over. Yeah, it's almost done. But let's turn it over, give it some crispy edges. There we go. Okay, so courgette is, that's almost softened enough, I think. It's basically to preference. You can keep this cooking if you want. You can pop a lid on it if it's drying out too much. I've not got either of those issues at the moment. I think I'll add the cream cheese in now, and then we can add some more seasonings. Okay, so we're looking for about 25-30 grams of cream cheese, usually a decent sized spoon. For those of us that don't have a Ninja, I would cook the chicken in the pan. Okay, do you think for this sauce? Yeah, absolutely. I like this kind of recipe because I tend to do this with, if I'm making a side dish, I chuck the whatever protein it is in the Ninja and let that cook whilst I'm doing a fancy side dish. But you can absolutely, especially even in this sort of pan, you could, if you wanted to, cook the chicken and then this at the same time. Chop the chicken up if you want, make it like a one pot sort of thing. Or yeah, just use a separate smaller pan, fry the chicken. Yeah, whatever you fancy. So the heat's on very low, it's on 2. Because I don't want the cream cheese to sort of burn at the bottom of the pan. You're just sort of melting it. Everything else is cooked. The bacon's nice and golden on some parts, nice and crispy. One pot wonder, exactly. So that's sort of come together now. So it's not quite like a full-on sauce. I mean, it would be if you used less veg, obviously. But the idea is you serve the chicken and you smother it with this, hence the name Smothered Chicken. So I'm going to add a bit of salt. Although the bacon itself is pretty salty already. I'll usually just salt it whilst it's plated. Tiny bit of thyme. It's weird doing this for one person. I'm not a fan of washing up, so if it can be done in one pan, it is, yeah. And some chili flakes. I'll have some pepper as well. Although I'm not liking this pepper mill at the moment. First of all, the lid is very annoying to get off, and it seems to give up after a couple of spins. So it'd be at this point where I would empty the pan and use it to make a side dish of some sort, but I'm not really fussed about that today. Got lots of this salad leaves that need using up, so I'm just going to empty this bag. Some of the mushy bits right at the bottom. Waitrose mixed salad, reduced. And I'll turn that off just so it doesn't burn. You wouldn't do anyway with it being that low temperature. That smells amazing though. That bacon and the garlic. I like the garlic addition. That's a very nice touch. Just waiting on the chicken now. Just that thickest part, not quite done yet. It's quite low down in the foodie. Salad in the pan? Ugh, no. Wilted greens, not a fan. Not at all. Has to be crunchy and cold. The only time I'd eat wilted spinach is in South Paneer. But even then, I'm like, I would never order that if I was going out, but if it was like there, I'd have a bit. But yeah. We very rarely have like mixed salad leaves at the moment because it usually be just me that eats it, and then by the time I get to finish the bag, some of it's gone all squishy. So usually I'm just having like cabbage or broccoli or something like that. So I need some suggestions. So the lives next week, a bit of a different week because we are going to the Keto Festival in Bristol on Sunday as Keto Roma, not as Keto Fitness Club. But it means that obviously we won't be live over the weekend because we won't be here. So I'm live on Friday making what we just had in the members class this morning. I'm going to do marble cake. So the idea is if you're wanting to make something nice for Mother's Day, this is an ideal cake because it looks very, very cool and it's actually not a lot of effort because it's just 2 mixes. On Thursday we can't do a live because Dan is here making carnivore gnocchi for his members class. So the only other day we can do a cooking live is Wednesday. So Dad will be live on Wednesday cooking something with salmon. If you have any requests, then pop them in the comments. Ironically, I'm making obviously smothered chicken today. There is a recipe called smothered salmon, not the same sort of thing. It's smothered in a marinade. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's on the next page here. It's that one. So I had that idea. I did think about the barbecue crusted salmon soup, but I've done that recently. I didn't want to overdo it. My other thought was maybe the salmon and broccoli bake. Seeing as the weather is just refusing to go into spring, it's quite a nice warm winter dish. Salmon in a pastry, there's a good shout. There is a salmon Wellington recipe in the library. Tandoori, Kerry, Marmite. We do have Marmite in the house at the moment. I don't eat fish, but folks seem to like a Thai salmon. Nice idea. I'm going to take all these suggestions and I'll let Dad pick which one he wants to do. But there's quite a good variety there. I have a feeling he'll probably go for the pastry. He did end up making it over Christmas. He put himself down for a salmon Wellington, and then we had to change it every now and then. But I think he did end up doing that. It has wilted spinach in it as well. Jam. So I think those will be the 2 cooking lives next week. We've also got couch time on Wednesday evening. So that is with Suzanne, all about mountaineering. That's going to be interesting. I do want to watch back the Everbold one as well. I've not had a chance to do that yet. So, Kerry, Marmite salmon, walk me through it. Is it literally just you spread Marmite on top of salmon? You only eat salmon this way. I don't like salmon lol. See, I love it. I would just have it grilled. Just bit of salt, bit of pepper, grilled, and a nice side dish. That's what I do most of the time. It's only if we're doing a live, I'm like, right, okay, how can I make this interesting? So Marmite salmon. I'm presuming you're writing a comment now and I just have to be patient. Yeah, that's better. We're all good. See, I'm the same, Sue. Salmon isn't as filling for me than like chicken. But then others find it really filling. Chicken. This is still warm, but you could always reheat it if it's been a little while. There we go. Well and truly smothered, as the recipe suggests. There we go. So it's a very simple dinner, but it smells amazing. I'm looking forward to this. Once again, it's not. What if I put it in front of my head? Will it focus then? There we go. Look at that. You can barely see the chicken because of all the courgette. But yeah, a very green sauce followed by a very green salad. Butter, fry and finish with caramelized Marmite at the end. Okay, so you fry the salmon in butter and then you add the Marmite to the pan at the end. Cool. Lemongrass, chili, soy sauce, etc. without the salmon. Or with the salmon. Looks great. Yeah, I know. So that is a half an hour dish. And that was me talking most of it as well. I tend to butter fry salmon first, then butter Marmite. Right. I'll forward that idea on. I'll take a photo of all these comments and we'll decide. And I'll pop the link into the live timetable now so that you can see what's going on. I updated this page earlier today because it was a little bit out of date with all the links to the lives, but that's there now. The timetable will change later today when I want to know what we're doing. I'm going to go give the dogs dinner now because they're both looking at me. And I'll enjoy this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week sometime. Bye.